What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Comic Breakdown. Now, I'm not gonna lie, when I read this comic, I was like, alright, cool. Like, as I started to get into it, I kind of understood the premise of where it was going, but I'm telling you, by the end of it, I was like, holy crap, I did not see this coming. The war between Arakko and Earth, between Apocalypse and Revelation, it just got stepped up to level freaking 100. Now, this war just started, but Apocalypse has been trying to lay the groundwork for this plan for a while. Now, if you remember in the last issue, Fabian Cortez threw the little girl off the freaking roof. Jealous because he doesn't need somebody else that can power up Revelation. He figures the less Corers there are, the more that he has an opportunity to really shine, to be the one that Revelation needs the most. But this little girl's name is Elbecca Voss, and right now she is being saved by what they call the Ghost of Philadelphia. We know her as Kitty Pryde. Elbecca using her powers amplifying Kitty Pryde's powers. This allows her to become solidified, just enough to grab hold of her. Grabbing hold of Elbecca, she's able to phase them through the ground, and we find ourselves underground. This little underground cave, this is where she's been living, if you could even call it living. She's kind of like a living ghost. Invisible, intangible, unintelligible. When asked how this happened to her, the answer, of course, is Revelation. All those years ago, Kitty believed in Doug. When the X virus kicked off, when he organized the relief in Philadelphia, she was proud of him. He was stepping up. One of her generation of mutants. They were doing something. This was important. But after a couple of years, people began to disagree with him, and then they disappeared. Eventually, those people would turn up in the borderlands as Babbles. And when Kitty disagreed with him, she was disappeared, forcing her to fade away, commanding her to become a ghost. Now, Elbecca, in her innocence, she sees Revelation as a hero, as a savior. So in her mind, there's no way Revelation would do this. And Kitty, she apologizes. She's like, I'm sorry I'm dropping all of this on you. You're just a kid. You don't need all of this pressure amassed on top of you. But sometimes people are good at hiding the bad things that they've done. Revelation has always been good to you, and so that makes it hard for you to believe anything bad he could do. But when asked why, Kitty Pryde can't really answer this. The Doug who was her friend would have never done these things that Revelation has done. It's like his transformation, maybe it was the responsibility, something changed him, something broke him, and she has spent years haunting this tower. She has heard the things that he's ordered people to do. This is where Elbecca says that I have to go back. That maybe you don't believe in him anymore, but I still do. Cortez tried to kill me, and so I have to warn Revelation. Now, Kitty explains like Cortez isn't going to hurt Doug. His entire station depends on Doug. The others, though, Cora, maybe Chance, you could definitely watch their backs because you're not the first one that he's tried to kill. He had Topaz set up. At this point, Elbecca's like, alright, Kitty, then you have to help me. If he's gonna kill any of us, all of us that are close to Doug, that have these powers, all just to make sure that his station stays the same, then you have to help me expose him. Tell Revelation, show the truth. Begging for Kitty's help, Kitty says, I'll help you. But before I do, I am going to tell you about a woman named Bay. This is where we pick up with Revelation and Cortez. Revelation asking, where is Elbecca? Where is she gone? And of course he's like, maybe she just ran away. Kids are always running away, going and running off and doing weird things. Now Revelation, he's like, I doubt that's the truth. Then Elbecca shows up. She shows up and she immediately accuses Fabian Cortez of murder. Now, of course, Cortez immediately rejects these claims, saying that she's just a lying child, that she's jealous, blah, 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 so on and so forth. But then she goes on to say that you killed the one that I replaced. You killed Topaz. This is where Revelation tells her to explain. And she does in full detail. The fewer of them there are, the more Cortez is in importance. He said that himself. So when Topaz went out into the field, Cortez told the X-Men where to find her. He put the blame onto Bay the Blood Moon. Though this is a very serious accusation, he wants to know, how did you come upon this information? At first she's very vague, saying that a friend told me. after she saved me, the ghost of Philadelphia. And this is where we see Kitty Pryde, putting Revelation at pause and even stepping back in complete disbelief to see Kitty here. But Kitty goes on to say that it's all true, that she's been haunting this castle ever since those days, ever since the day that you made me go away. And everything I have said, everything that she has said, it is all true. Forcing Cortez to tell the truth. He admits it. He admits to killing Topaz, turning his attention to Kitty and asking, what is your part in all of this? But Kitty has no part in this. Kitty just wants to hurt Doug, and how better to do that than be the one to tell you you had your wife killed for nothing. Now at this point, Elbecca, she's kind of begging for Kitty Pryde to be saved, begging Revelation to spare her life, that she's a good person, that your disagreement was so long ago. This is where Revelation says, you know, it wasn't a disagreement. Shadowcat tried to kill me. Your friend tried to murder me. This is when Kitty really tries to explain that Revelation's a tyrant, that he's a bad person, but she doesn't want to hear any of it. Begging Elbecca not to do it because she needs Elbecca's powers. She needs it to stay solid, to stay real. But she says that she is a chorister, one of Revelation's, and she does not use her powers for her enemies. This is where we see Kitty Pryde slip away yet again, back to the ghost of Philadelphia. Now Revelation at this point, he embraces her, and he tells Elbecca, really Cortez's life is in your hands. You get to decide what happens to him. And Elbecca, she allows him to live. We need more of us, which means we can't kill him. Could you just tell him to be good, to be nice? And so after days pass, we pick up with little Elbecca running through the halls, calling out Cortez's name. And Cortez seems to be in a lot of pain. He says that he's trying to find it. He's trying to find the thing that defines him. It directed his every action, and without it, he's nothing. Revelation took it from him. He told him to be good and took away the very thing that made Cortez who he is. Revelation took away his ambition, and as he kneels down on the ground crying, Elbecca comes up to his ear and whispers, just as planned. Now obviously this puts Cortez at disbelief, the shock and awe of it all. This is where Elbecca goes on to explain that her mission, it was to weaken him, to pave the way for her lord. And what better way to do that than by removing Cortez? After such harsh treatment, after being so filled with guilt, it's no wonder why Cortez did such a terrible thing. And Cortez confused, saying, what thing? Elbecca saying, suicide. Telling Kitty Pryde that I know you're watching because that's all you can do anymore. Explaining that she has no idea what went into putting Elbecca here. Viral paramind psychic camouflage. An entire village of mind-sculpted shills. A deep brain cover personality. All to make Elbecca Voss. Even she believed it. She believed that she was her. Elbecca was the perfect sleeper. But now she's awake, tasted blood in the water. She wants more. Kicking Fabian Cortez down the stairs and walking down to his dead body. Telling Kitty Pryde that I'm gonna do what you couldn't do. Revelation is gonna die. He will weep for mercy. He will beg for forgiveness. And neither will be forthcoming from her lord. The one who will put all things right. The lord of the people, the mutants of Araco. All hail Apocalypse. And that is where this issue will end. Absolutely beautifully done. God bless it, that was brutal. Now, I'm not a fan of the way Fabian Cortez died, kicking him down the stairs and him dying by breaking his neck. Like, sure, it's possible. I believe it in the sense that his mind was just so jumbled at that point. The revelation, no pun intended, the revelation of what he just learned just blew his mind. Not only was his ambition taken away from him, so he was scrambling around like a lost child, but then learning that Elbecca, she planned all of it. Now, we don't know exactly what moment she woke up, but we know now that she was a sleeper cell. created by Apocalypse, used as a weapon, sent in knowing the revelation would take her in. And when the time was right, she woke up. Apocalypse is not a stupid man. He knew a direct attack probably wouldn't be the best attack to start it off. What best way to take him down, to take down Revelation, than to take him down from the inside? Because Revelation without his power-up mutants, Revelation is no match. He needs Cora, Chance, Fabian, Cortez, Topaz. He needs all of them. That's why they're the most important mutants to him. Without them, Revelation would have never amassed the amount of power that he has now. He would have never been able to do the feats that he did. Even being evolved by Apocalypse was not enough to make him as powerful as he is when he has his little gang with him. And so Apocalypse did the most strategic and most thought out plan that he could do against him. Take out his power source. Weaken him so that when Apocalypse does arrive, he just smashes his face into the dirt and calls it a day. But I do give Doug some credit. I don't think he's going to be as easily fooled as this. I think it's not going to be as simple as that, but it's definitely a nice first blow to Revelation from Apocalypse. Even more, he killed his own wife because he thought that Bay the Blood Moon killed Topaz. Now he's learned the truth. He's learned that Bay the Blood Moon didn't actually do that. How absolutely heartbreaking that must be if Revelation even has a heart anymore. But let me know what you guys think. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your theories. If you want to get caught up on everything that's going on with the Age of Revelation storyline, check out the link in my description as well as the top of this video. It's going to get you completely caught up on everything that has been going on with this X-Men story. If you would like to support the channel, you can always do so by joining the channel membership. This is a lot like Patreon, having multiple different tiers, from $1 to $50 from loyalty badges to comics every single month. Not only are you helping out the channel tremendously, but you're getting tons of perks in the process. Now, if you're unable to do that, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, like this video, hit that notification bell, and with that being said, until the next breakdown.